Hi, everybody. So, YouTube very much anymore. Mostly when I do live streams, I'm on Instagram, but today I figured I would post on here just because I rarely am on here. So, first of all, in case people haven't noticed, I made a new Facebook account and a new corresponding theater Facebook page. I have been hacked several times since the beginning of the year, most recently on September 23rd. So if you get a friend request from me and a new request to like a new theater is my life Facebook page, please accept both requests. That is not a spammed account. It is me. Um, as far as blog up to go, I'm going to be um the next show that we are seeing is Titanic at Manchester Community Theatre Players this weekend, and we are looking forward to seeing Sweeney Todd at Actor Singers and 9 to 5 at Peacock Players on November 13th. Then on November 18th, we are seeing the fall play, which I don't have a lot of information on it as far as what the show is. I have been looking on Instagram for information, but I haven't seen too much about it. So if people in the SHS theater department seeing, but I'm very excited to be seeing it nonetheless. And as far as my move to Maine, first of all, I know I have been saying in speeches after every single play I'm in that I'm moving such and such a time. I just want to apologize for any confusion I have caused people because things change and keep getting canceled and postponed. Well, the same thing keeps happening with my move. I had originally thought that I would be moving in September, but I am currently still in Nashua. My move has now been postponed to probably April or May. No confirmed date set. We're currently still waiting to hear back from the apartment buildings in Maine on a move-in date, and our job at Vertical Harvest will be starting in the fall. So, first of all, let me tell you guys about Vertical Harvest. Vertical Harvest is really cool. Matt and I have both gotten hired there already. We will be starting there next fall, as I said. What Vertical Harvest is an hydroponic greenhouse that will be growing food indoors. Matt and I are very excited to be working there and can't wait to get started. I guess my problem is I'm just so anxious about starting this new part of my life that I don't know. I'm nervous about moving because it's going to be new to me and I'm going to be meeting new people, but at the same time I'm sad because I'm going to be missing all of my friends who I've known for so long. But that doesn't mean I won't be back to visit. Of course I will. I'll still be back to play at the Amo Center or at other area theaters. It just will depend on what shows are coming up in the future. What shows that we haven't already seen because to be honest, lately what I've been noticing is that in community theaters, a lot of the same shows seem to be repeated over and over again. And I'm more excited to see new plays. Like for example, I'm excited to see Titanic and Sweeney Todd because I haven't seen those before. And I'm excited to see The Best Christmas Pageant Ever, the musical, in December because I've seen the stage play twice at the Amato Center, but I didn't even know there's a musical version of Best Christmas Pageant Ever until this year. The Majestic Theater is doing that the first weekend in December. Second, sorry, 9th to 11th. So I'm very excited to see that play. Um, and um, as far as church is concerned, Matt and I are because of um, high COVID count cases, and we haven't yet decided if we're going to be returning uh, next year before we move away because um, it will depend on if the case levels go down. Because while we have our booster shots, it's clear that COVID is still an issue and that it's affecting the chorus because uh, positive cases keep coming up, and I mean, it might be a problem on to come. No, I'm hoping we're gonna be able to return to church, but we just don't know yet. Um, um, what else was I gonna say? Um, far as my theater is my life blog is concerned, I'm sure I've said this before, but it's worth repeating. Let's be honest, since COVID-19 began, I have not seen as many plays as I once was, due to theaters being closed for 18 months, due to budget restrictions, due to schedule conflicts. Um, After Christmas, we're probably going to be seeing at least one or two plays a month, and we are planning to go to Boston at some point to see a national touring production. We have been looking at the Broadway and Boston website we're going to see, and we are going to make a decision once the holidays are over. There are a couple of options that we are considering, such as Hairspray and Beetlejuice and a Little Pill, and there was another choice, but I forgot what it was. We have to look at the website again. But yes, um, we went to see The Lion King for our uh as part of a wedding ceremony, and that was an amazing show. So I can't wait to go see another Broadway and Boston show. And I'm also hoping to go back to New York City at some point in the coming year because it has been a long time since I have been to New York. I think the last show I saw in New York was Kinky Boots, and that was in 2016. So it hasn't it has been 5 or 6 years since I've last been back to New York, and I have heard that Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cinderella, which had a which got mixed reviews when it was in London, is going to be opening in Broadway in February. So they have renamed the show Bad Cinderella, which I think they're trying to distance themselves by how um how bad the show in London, and very interested to see this production and what changes they will make to the show and the soundtrack from the London production. London production starred Carrie Hope Fletcher as Cinderella, Victoria Hamilton Barrett as the stepmother, and Ivano Turnko as Prince Sebastian. So I think the thing that excites me the most about this is it's a new modernized version of Cinderella where she's more punk and edgy and gothic as opposed to the regular Rodgers and Hammerstein version that we're all familiar with, or the Disney version, which is more like what we see this interpretation of Cinderella. Um, and see what changes they have made for the London production, what songs might have been added, because I have listened to the cast recording for the London production and I fell in love with the music from it. So I think the reason why I was so entranced by it was because Carrie Hope Fletcher's voice is very beautiful. I follow her on YouTube and she seems like she would be a very nice person to meet in real life too. Um, so and then I have heard that there has been drama on Broadway lately with Hadestown, and how one of the actors called out a hard of hearing audience member because she was using a captioning device. Now, as all of you know, I have a disability, and I am all for promoting equality in this world when it comes to people with disabilities. And like, I think it is very unfair for them to consider firing this Broadway actress for the way she singled out this hard of hearing audience member who was using a captioning device. She had was the actress Lillias White, who plays Hermes in Hadestown. She mistook the captioning device the hard of hearing audience member was using for a phone, and thought that this person was recording the show illegally, and she called her out on it. But she did not realize that this audience member had a disability. And Broadway is reacting to other people to other people on Twitter. I don't have Twitter, but I follow a London theater reviewer, which is how I first heard about the Andrew Lloyd version of Cinderella. I follow two YouTube channels of London theater, Mick Joe Theater and Ellie Takes Theater, who you all should subscribe to. It's very informative to me to learn about what shows are happening in London because I don't get to travel to London. And it's very interesting to see what shows are playing over there compared to what shows are playing in New York. And this actress, Lillias White, who called out this Broadway this hard of hearing audience member for using a captioning device which she mistook for using a phone. Like, I get that there are rules in theater that you can't have phones out, record videos. They make announcements about that all the time at all theater productions I go to see. That's commonplace. But I think that theaters need to be more open to having devices available for people who are disabled, so that way they can enjoy the theater experience too, like captioning devices, like this girl in a an audience so unfairly got shamed for using, because she was just trying to follow what was going on in the show, but this actress like called her out and told her to put the device away and kind of embarrass her in front of everybody. Like, people are calling for this actress to be fired because of the way that she treated this. I don't think she should be fired. I think people are overreacting. I think that she owes an apology to the audience member. That she was rude to. I don't think she should be fired. So I hope that this whole situation with Hadestown is remedied, and that the apology is issued in a fair way. Um, I hope everybody has a good weekend.